Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker, and I am back in Big Canucker Studios here in beautiful Burbank, California. Nah, I wish I was in beautiful Burbank, California. I grew up watching all these damn TV shows that were shot in beautiful Burbank, California, including I think Johnny Carson was in there. I think The Price is Right was shot in Burbank. And there's probably an awful lot of porn shot in Burbank too as well. So not that I watched that one as a kid. Well, maybe when I was, 16 or 17 or 18 or hormonal. I was definitely a hormonal kid. I'm getting a little bit off topic there. Well, it's good to be back here anyway. And I wanted to talk about something that I happened to forget on that little bit of a trip. And it is this Boker Plus kick-ass brass rocket pen. And let's go to the tabletop and let's check her out, folks. All right. Hey. We are sitting here at the table, and don't forget, hey, if you like what you see here in this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up as well as subscribe. We want to help me kind of just grow my voice and have a little bit of fun. So, thanks so much here. All right. So, I got to say that one of the marks of somebody who cares about their customers, and at least their customer experience, is somebody who delivers their product in good packaging, and I think Boker has done really, really well in this. You know what? It's not the most expensive pen in the world, although it is a little bit pricey. It is a wonderful heavy-duty cardboard pack with this magnetic latch on it. And I just think that just gives you a little bit of ooh and ah, If you can go ooh and ah, then I think that you're doing a damn good job. And so let's just pop that in there. So it does come in a that here. We'll put that off to the side. And there is a nice plastic bag that it also comes into too as well. But I did want to kind of put that in there because I've had this out for a bit. So you're also going to come packaging with a couple of books here. Just explain to you what the warranty is and stuff like that, and instructor for tactical pens. And it will also explain that this will develop a patina too as well. This does come with a limited lifetime warranty, and I probably will be taking advantage of that just based on the fact that mine came with a Parker P4 dark black refill, and it was pooched. It skipped rather soon, so I ended up getting myself a Fisher Space Pen refill. So it will be able to fit both in there, the Parker P4 as well as the Fisher Space Pen. And I like this Fisher Space Pen, a little more pricier than the Parker, but so far it's been a great refill for me. So just to go over some of the specs on here, this is 5.2 inches long, weighing at 1.9 ounces. So it's got a little bit of weight to it, and that weight just lets you know that it's got some quality. I think in certain things, if they've got a little bit of weightiness to them, they denote quality, and pens is one of them. So 5.2 ounces. Here's what we're rocking here today. We're rocking this Spyderco Tough, as you can see. That gives you an idea of the size. And then here's something a little bit on the smaller side. I'll let them in Juice CS4. That's also going in the fifth pocket. And then, of course, this is what I have been writing with it in. Where is my notepad? My field notepad here too as well. That gives you a great idea. And I just simply take it in the center of the notepad and I pop it inside there, and it fits in there beautifully. It doesn't poke out the bottom, and it doesn't make this feel overly thick. Of course, if you're looking for great field notes, I happen to like the ones that have the graph paper in them. I just think it is so much smarter that you can write a note to it if you want, but you could also draw a really nice diagram or map, and these little grid lines make it so much easier to do that with. And so let's just pop that off there. There. So of course, this is made in China. Not too many things aren't made in China, but it is made of brass with a stainless steel deep carry pocket. Now, if you're going to look at changing the inside, and something that I had to do because my Parker didn't work right off the bat, is you're going to need yourself a Tiet Torx. And so that actually just opens that up, and it's a really nice, heavy, beefy bolt here. And it's got some size to it. It's not anything that's really kind of wimpy. And then of course you've got your deep clip, so you can put this, just take that completely off and have the pen just by itself. And so that's where now some people really don't like this oval. Well, if you don't have this clip on there and you put this on your desk, it's not going to roll away. That's a really nice thing about that ovalness. And then, of course, here we go. Let's just drop that in there. And it's very, very simple components. You've got yourself an insert, you've got yourself a spring, and then you've got yourself a little bit of a slide with your jimp on it. And it's just a simple protruding slide that goes into a channel, and that there's no way that you can kind of really screw this up unless you do what I happen to have done. When I was replacing this, I took this spring and I just dropped the spring inside there, and then I pushed that down in there in order to just put it in there, and then I dropped the slide and I put everything together, and it would not go all the way down. Turns out there's enough room inside this barrel for this to skip off to the side rather than mate in there perfectly. And so I ended up having this spring jammed inside there with this off to the side, and there was no way that it was going to be working like that. And then this was jammed in there, this stuff came out, and I had no way of getting it out, so I had to take this refill and I pushed it in the bottom, and I managed to break it free, and I ended up kind of getting it out of there. And there was just a little bit of kind of scarring along the side here, and it bent this ever so slightly, so it did do a little bit of damage, but it writes beautifully. I'm not too worried about that anymore. And the other thing, this is just a little bit of a tip. You can't really kind of see here. Maybe you can here a little bit. But I ended up taking a little bit of tin foil and balling it up, because this here is a little cap, and I put a little tiny ball of tin foil in there because I wanted to elongate this by about 1 millimeter, because I wanted it to stick out of the bottom here an extra millimeter, and it does. It's just way more comfortable for me. That's just a little bit of a tip. So if you ever have this here, where if you ever have a refill where a Fisher Space Pen is 1 mil or 2, or even up to the length of it too short, you could always put something inside this cap in order to give this a little bit longer length, and then it'll fit inside your pen. So if you have a pen that this thing is a little bit too short to fit in, put something inside that cap and then slide it on, and this will elongate your pen blank and your pen refill, and it will allow it to work inside a different type of pen. So let's just drop that inside there, and then let's just put this here, because I like having this clip on there. And then you can just start it with your fingers, and then finish it off with your Torx. There we go. And I am going to be probably doing a little bit more surgery to this, just to make it, I think, just a little bit better of a pen. And then you can just finish screwing it all the way here with just nothing but your fingers till you get to the very bottom. And then once that's bottomed out there, it's not tight because this is not completely tight here. You'll just want to give it just a little bit of a snug up. There we go. And then it's on there really, really well. Now, like I said, when I had this spring jammed in there, I was trying to screw this little cap down, and I ended up stripping this T8 a little bit. And so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up taking my Dremel and a really thin cutting disc, and I'm going to cut myself a little bit of a line right there. So if I'm ever out and about and I run out of ink and I need to change it, I don't need to have a Torx TX with me. I can simply use a dime, or even this little bit of a multi-tool with a flat end. I can use that to open it up too as well. So let's close this out here a little bit, and we will show you how this writes. Let me just grab myself a pen, piece of paper. So the mechanism, and you can see here where I have it just sticking out the bottom of that extra millimeter. I think it does a world of good. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have got terrible penmanship, but this writes beautifully. It gives you really, really good. I thought for sure this oval would be very uncomfortable, but it's not. Once you've kind of got that little bit of use to it, it fits in your hand perfectly. There's no issues there whatsoever. It writes beautifully. Now, it is not all good, of course. The fact that this didn't work out of the box, didn't like that, doesn't give me a lot of I don't know how Parker refills are, but we'll find out. The next time I go to use a pen, I might give this Parker a try again. Although I really like the Fishers, I think I might just stick with the Fishers. So that bothered me. I also think that the barrel on here, is comfortable to fit in your hand, is really, really smooth. Really, really smooth. And you could do with a little bit of jimping on here, a tiny bit of knurling, just to give you that little bit of grip to it. So we're going to investigate that. And then also now this jimping here, on the other hand, is, I think, entirely too sharp. It does give you a good grip on your thumb, and if you're opening this pen once in a while, that jimping is going to be fine. But if you're a flicking person, I think you'll wear a hole in your pad in very, very short order with how sharp that can be. So that just gives you my little bit of hits and misses on this Boker Plus Rocket brass pen that shall be patinaing in no time whatsoever. So scale of 1 to 10, I want to give this a 7. It's going to lose a little bit for this Parker. Going to lose a little bit that it's smooth, and this jimping is a little bit too much. So thanks for stopping by, you guys. Appreciate it so much. We are not out of the woods yet, so please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.